Good morning, members. This is the fifth video in the series of case studies for RVO IBBI registered valuer exams. So, without any further delay, let's start this particular case study. In this fifth case study, if I give you a brief idea about this, there is one person who has made some investment on a particular date with an intention for holding them for 3 years. On the date of investment, the share was trading at 20 rupees 75 paisa. Then he was expecting that the share will be moved towards or reach till 29 rupees by the end of 3-year holding period. That was his desired period. By the end of 3 years, he was expecting the returns based on CAPM return of 12.6% on annual basis, and exactly after 3 years the shares were actually sold for 30.05. That is more than his expectation. During these 3 years period, no dividends were actually paid. Then the information is given regarding the US market historical risk premiums that they used, and the information was that the US market has experienced some meaningful favorable inflations, that some favorable factors affected this equity risk premium, and hence the equity risk premium will be favorably upwardly biased. So if we want to calculate the correct equity risk premium or market risk premium, then we must downward adjust this. Then moving ahead, she asked, this is there is exhibit number 2 is given, which is giving you the information regarding the dividend yield based on year ahead aggregate forecast dividends is 1.2. Dividend yield means similar to the return. Second, consensus long term earning growth rate is 4% and 20% government bond yield is 3%. So if you are getting a return in the form of dividend of 1.2% and growth rate you are expecting as 4%, then the total return that you will expect will be 5.2%, and government bond yield is 3%. So net increase in your expectation will be, or net growth in your expectation will be 2.2%, 1.2 of dividend yield and net 1% of growth rate and bond yield. Chen is now considering, there is exhibit number 3 is given regarding the calculation of weighted average cost of capital, post tax cost of debt is given, long term debt value is proportionate is also given, marginal tax rate is available, and beta and everything is totally available. So you can simply apply the weighted average cost of capital formula, that is KD into weight of debt plus PE into weight of equity, and while applying or calculating cost of debt you have to use the after tax cost of debt. In the last paragraph, the only information is given regarding the overall beta and equity beta, but if the industry beta is given and industry cost of capital structure is given, then by default you will always assume that this beta given of industry is equity beta rather than overall beta. So let's go ahead with this and see the answers or questions. In the first part, they are asking that based on the exhibit number 1, the expected 3-year holding period return for Novo Gemini at the time of purchase was closest to. So if you want to calculate the expectation of return, then how much price he was expecting after 3 years minus amount of invested today divided by amount of invested today. So the answer you will get will be 39.76%. That is A answer. Then based on exhibit 1, the realized earning for this company was, now if you calculate the realized earning, then actually this share was not sold for 29 but 30.05. So if you'll get based on 30.05, 30.05 minus 20.75 divided by 20.75. Return, simple formula, 100 and 100. If you invest 100 rupees, get 110. How much is that in 10%? Amount got minus amount invested by amount invested. So it will be 44.82% is the correct answer. In third case, he is asking, the based on the historical data, there was some surprised favorable inflation and productivity was there. So based on that additional beneficial data, the expectation of return will be, or equity risk premium will be upward biased. So if we want a correct equity risk premium, then we should adjust it downward to get it perfectly fine. Based on exhibit 2, the forward looking estimate for equity risk premium, how much should be the equity risk premium? The growth rate net was 1% with respect to the what you can say, the government bond yield, and 1.2% was the dividend yield. So 1.2 plus 1 is equal to 2.2%. So this is the correct answer. Based on exhibit number 3 and assuming the debt is tax deductible, the weighted average cost of capital, for this you have to apply the formula. So if I show you the answer, it will be the weight of equity will be 0.75, the weight of debt will be 0.25, the cost of equity is given, the cost of debt is after tax is this. So if you will calculate, it will be 11.3575, and the nearest answer in this case that you'll get will be 11.36%. Then estimate the beta for twin industries is closest to, by using the industry data. First of all, you have to calculate the overall beta, then apply that overall beta to this industry's capital structure to calculate the levered beta of this particular industry, twin industry. So if you want to see the calculation once, then the calculation would be like this. If you use industry overall beta, your equity beta is given as 1.09. If you calculate the overall beta, then capital structure of industry was 40/60, so it will be 0.44. Then if you will apply the company's capital structure on that, then you'll get the equity beta of the company as 0.85. This will be 0.85. Last part would be a potential weakness of Johnson's approach to estimating the required rate of return for twin industries is that the return estimate has not included size premium, may overstate potential returns over long term, does not consider systematic risk arising from the economics of the industry, none of the above. But in this particular situation, I think we were purchasing how much percentage of shares? The correct answer given here is Johnson's intent to estimate the required rate of return or equity for modified CAPM approach, and the twin industries is given in beta paragraph. The information is given that twin industries is having a small or larger operations than the other entities, so we must include the size premium in that. We have not included the same, that is why this answer comes as it does not have included any size premium. So with this, the 6 questions are done. Let's go through. First, it is asking expected return. Second one is actual return. Third, what should be done because there are favorable information, so we must adjust downward. And then expected equity risk premium. Then last is weighted average cost of capital and beta, overall beta. Then apply the on the company. And then in the last case, the operations were not similar of the industry and the company, but we must adjust the does not include the size premium for this particular situation. Other two information, there is no information regarding this particular question. So this is end. Please wait for the next video.